Hi there, and welcome to my channel. I figured I'd do a little tutorial here on my hot water tank because I seem to have gone through a little bit of problems with it, so I figured this video might help out the next person. We have this electric water heater, and we do have hard water, and we had some issues with it. You have on the front here, I have it already taken apart, but you're going to have two covers in the front. There's one down at the bottom here, and this is the one that I took off at the top. And you're going to have two holes on each side. It's going to be kind of identical. I see this is already taken out on this side, but you're going to have a heating element, and that's going to look like this guy right here. Here's your heating element that I took out. As you can see, ours has a little bit of sediment right there. That's not too bad. The other one was extremely worse, and I'll show you why in a second. That's all the sediment that I took off the tank. A little bit I drained out. Anytime you're working on this, you want to shut off all power at your breaker, and when you're taking out any of these heating elements, you want to make sure that you have any of the water drained out at the level that you're taking out. So if you're taking the top one out, you want to make sure that the level is lower than the heating element itself, or it's gonna come out on you. So make sure it'd be just easier just to drain your whole tank down. Just drain it right out. You're gonna have a little drain down at the bottom here. Attach a garden hose to it. If you have a sump pump or a drain or something, or just drain it outside. Bring the hose outside and let it drain all the way out. You got a little screwdriver fitting right here. Turn this, and then it'll start draining all your water out. Okay, so here's the problem. On the top here, you're gonna have a little disc, and it's gonna look like this, little black disc, and it's gonna say, hopefully it says Anode on it. You're gonna remove that disc. Ours had this insulation that you might have to pry around either with a hole saw or some kind of saw, or if you got some screwdrivers, or just make it so you cut it out. You cut it all the way around, get that stuff out until you get to a nut that's going to look like this, and you're going to need a 1/16 socket. 1/16. It doesn't have to be deep like this one, but if you don't have one that's deep, you're going to need an extension. You're going to need extension with that anyways. So you're going to take that off, and you're going to pry all the insulation out, then take this off. Might have difficulty with the socket taking that off. I've heard some people strapping the hot water tank down. I just used an air gun, and that seemed to have done, that did the trick for me. So maybe you could do the same, or you just want to get it off. So once you do that, you take this rod out. Now this rod is not supposed to be this thin. This rod is supposed to be pretty much as thick as this spot that I'm touching here, this thickness, and it's just because it's depleted all the way away. It's just completely eroded away, and that's what's supposed to do over time. So this needs to be replaced, and I'll do another video when I buy the replacement rod tomorrow of what it should look like for the replacement. But you're basically going to go and take, when you get your replacement, you're going to pop it right back in. Just going to screw it down, and I've heard you want to go and use a little bit of Teflon just at the top, not all the threads, because you want it to make a connection with your tank, this top piece. So just a little bit on the top of Teflon, and that'll help if you have to take this off in the future, because you will. It does depreciate and erode away like as it should, and they say you're supposed to replace it as needed within 1 to 3 years. It should be checked regularly. Say once a year. Once a year your tank should be flushed. That's something we didn't do here, so I'm going to start doing that, because we have hard water. So flushing this tank once a year should help that, all the sediment leave the tank, and then checking that anode at the top regularly should also help, again, because that's what that's supposed to do, is help break up all the sediment in the tank and kind of make it so it leaves the tank, is what I've read about. So yeah, I hope this video helps you out, and join me for my next one on replacing that anode.